A billionaire sat alone in his glass tower, clutching his head, whispering, "I can't fix this." From the shadows below, a man who owned nothing whispered back, "I can." What followed was a meeting no one expected, where a homeless man taught a billionaire the one thing money could never buy. The city glittered with steel and neon, but in the highest tower, a man sat in the dark. His empire was crumbling. His name was known across the world, yet tonight he whispered to himself with trembling lips, "I can't fix this." His voice cracked like glass breaking in an empty hall. On the street below, a man who owned nothing looked up at the tower. His clothes were torn, his shoes barely held together, but his eyes, steady, unbroken, saw everything. He had no fortune, no home, but he carried something rarer, a life carved by loss, silence, and survival. And when he heard the faint whisper drifting down through an open window, he answered with words as soft as the night air, "I can fix it." The billionaire did not see who spoke, but fate would soon pull them into the same room. A past carved by fire. The man on the street was once a soldier. He had marched through deserts where the air burned his lungs. He had held brothers in arms as they took their last breaths, their voices fading beneath roaring skies. When he returned home, the world had changed. His medals meant little to a society that passed him by. Each day he walked unseen, carrying memories heavier than any backpack. He remembered the smell of sand mixed with smoke, the silence after battle when the world seemed too quiet, the haunting thought, "Why me? Why am I still here?" The world offered no answers, so he built his own. He learned to fix broken radios with scraps, to stitch his torn boots with wire, to hold himself together with dignity, even when all else was stripped away. The collision of two worlds. When the billionaire finally stumbled out of his tower one night, his tie loose, his eyes hollow, he collapsed onto a bench in the very street the soldier called home. People passed, pretending not to see. Phones glowed, footsteps hurried, but no one stopped, except the man with torn shoes. He sat down without a word. The billionaire's breath was shallow, his hands shaking from a storm no one else could see. His company was falling apart. His family barely spoke to him. He had everything money could buy, and nothing his soul needed. At last, the soldier spoke. His voice carried no judgment, only truth. "You've built a world of machines, but who taught you how to fix a heart?" The billionaire turned, stunned. For the first time in years, he listened. Silent resistance, unseen strength. The soldier never raised his voice, never demanded. He told his story in fragments, about the men who never came home, about nights when hunger gnawed, but he still gave away his last piece of bread. He spoke of silence, of dignity when the world turned its back. The billionaire tried to argue, to justify his pain with numbers and losses, but against the soldier's quiet honor, his words dissolved. In that silence, he realized the truth. Money could fix broken glass, but not a broken soul. The turning point. At dawn, the soldier stood to leave. The billionaire grasped his arm. "Don't go. I need you. Teach me." The soldier smiled faintly, lines of exhaustion etched deep in his face. "Strength isn't in what you hold. It's in what you give away." Those words struck deeper than any boardroom defeat. A new beginning. Weeks later, the city watched something they never expected. The billionaire, once untouchable, walked side by side with the man the world ignored. Together, they built kitchens where the hungry could eat, shelters where the forgotten could rest, programs where veterans found honor again. People began to whisper those same words, the soldier's quiet truth. Respect is the currency that never loses value. Dignity is wealth no one can steal. And when the billionaire was asked how his empire survived, he simply said, "I thought I had everything. Then a man who had nothing taught me how to live." Reflection and call to action. Sometimes the strongest teachers are those the world refuses to see. Sometimes the most broken hands know best how to mend a heart. Wherever you're watching from, remember this: silent strength changes the world louder than power ever could. Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more stories like this, and let us honor the heroes who walk unseen among us.